Stay tuned for Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas, a leading financial retirement strategist and the founder of Soutas Financial and Insurance Solutions, right here in Fresno. Every week, Dale discusses pressing financial topics of the week, ranging from reliable income strategies to our financial markets, including Social Security, tax strategies, wealth management, RMDs, legacy planning, long-term care solutions, and most importantly, how to make sure you have enough guaranteed lifetime income to retire your way with choice and dignity. From taxes to trends to total transparency, Dale covers it all. And now, here is Retire Your Way and Dale Soutas. This is Retire Your Way with financial advisor Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial. For the hour, I'm joined with Dale here. I'm your host, Spike Spangle. I'm so glad to be here with you and to get all of the financial... Come on, Mo. We got a lot of things we got to cover. Come on, no goofing around. Come on. We've got to take today's show seriously. Okay. Yes. Dale Soutas. How are you doing this week, my friend?
So I shouldn't push all those buttons, huh?
Yeah, stop pushing.
They're fun.
Okay. Stop pushing my buttons, okay?
Oh,
can you do that? Come on. Who's calling the show already? We're only a minute in. We can't be getting phone calls already. Dale.
Exactly.
Oh, man. You've been helping a lot of people over the last few weeks. You know, we've got the summer upon us, but it still seems like people are really engaged in what's going on in the markets, more importantly, even planning for their own retirement. So we're happy for the engagement, and we want our listeners to know that they can reach out to us as well whenever they want to. 833-856-1382.
So, yeah, some, because they have some vacation time, they're able to, take a little time, maybe take an hour and meet with us and put together a plan, right?
Oh, I thought you were going to say take vacation time of an hour. I'm like, Dale, that's not much for vacation.
Yeah, take their vacation at my office. Oh, boy, that's almost exciting. Yeah, no. But, some work, like teachers and such might have more time off during the summer. And so we're getting, steady. Yeah, we're always having a nice bunch of ones to visit with, so that's nice.
You know what? I'm glad that you brought that out. I'm going to make a declaration for the state of California. As much as we help folks with healthcare, long-term care later in life, I think that we all need to make sure that folks are getting help with their financial planning. I think that all employers should allow a couple hours of away time that shouldn't have to go towards things like vacation time to do your financial planning for retirement. I mean,
be smart.
Yeah. I mean, not everybody wants to, first of all, meet after work. Second of all, you don't have the time to do that. Third of all, nobody wants to be doing this all on the weekends, on Saturdays. I'm sure you've taken appointments here and there, but this is important stuff. And it's, I want to say, as important as going to the doctor. We need to be able to talk to our employers and say, I need a couple hours. Especially if age-ish of your employee, if they're 50s and above, and they say, I got to go talk to my financial advisor. I want to make sure I can leave this dump someday. No, I don't think that. I don't think we can.
Yeah, that'd be the nice way.
Then
it wouldn't be a someday. It could be that same day.
You're like, you're welcome to walk out right now. You don't even need to come back.
What do you mean someday? You mean same day? Yeah, see ya. No,
I think it's really. Don't you think it would be important for employers to allow us?
It is important. Yeah. Well, I mean, great, but we can't tell the employers what to do. But it's been wonderful this year. I know the two ladies who have been very anxious to get out of, to get away from their jobs because it's very stressful. One earlier this year picked a few dates during the year and then instead of waiting to the last part of the year in the fall, she decided right away, and she's already retired. And then another lady was pushing off towards fall, and she's actually put in her letter of, saying, hey, nope. And she'll be not working pretty soon, and she's looking forward to it too. So but some, they're enjoying what they're doing, and fine, or maybe they want to cut back a little bit and just, there's parts of what they do that they can continue doing and not be picking on the spouse every 24/7. So it's a variety of things. But what is your plan is really what we're about. Just It doesn't hurt to come in. We don't seatbelt you to the seat and strap you down. Just come in. We get to know you and find out what you want to do.
I said this a few weeks ago that an AARP study said 45% of Americans would rather go see a dentist than talk to a financial advisor. Folks, it's not painful to come in and see Dale. We're not.
Yeah, we put the drills in the back now.
Yeah. Now, maybe you could have a little bit of the laughing gas, just to calm everybody down. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Hey, but you know what? I'm so glad to hear about these two women who have come in because new study from Retirement Research Institute, more Americans seem to be retiring later in life, working a little bit longer. And I do have to say, Dale, it doesn't seem like all of the reasons here are necessarily bad. It's not just, I think, on savings, although I think that's obviously a part of it. But there are some positive reasons. The one alone that I can think of is I know that I don't work in the kind of capacity that both of my grandfathers did. My grandfathers put their backs into their jobs, and now I put what I have of a brain into my job. And it's not quite the same kind of, the physical wear and tear on our bodies. And wouldn't you say over the last 30 or 40 years, we've kind of changed as a work society, Dale? I mean, there are obviously those hard workers out there and doing physical labor, but it just, there's a lot of workforce that gets paid to work without having to do that. Wouldn't you say that?
Yeah, exactly. I just had a family we're talking about, technically mom and dad's care, but I was asking the kids who already retired, well, what did you used to do? And one worked for Child Protective Services, and he said, it wasn't that hard, but then he pointed
sounds like a very hard job. Well, a very careful job.
No, physically.
Yeah.
I mean, is what he was getting at. But then he pointed, to his head and said, and heart. But some of it, was hard to do. And then. Yeah, I agree.
I am emotionally wiped out after doing a show with you. I can understand how this person must feel. No, but seriously, I'm joking around a little bit, but what a wonderful job that person must have done. That had to take a mental toll on them and an emotional toll on them. In our jobs.
And then I can say with what I do, do I get tired at the end of the day or at the end of a long week? I do. I'm not, doing the back-breaking things that a lot of people do. Not running here, running there on my feet all day long, but it's still work. And a lot of people, exactly. They don't have the back-breaking jobs anymore, and maybe they want to work a little longer, or maybe they just, hey, it's time.
Yeah. And it's just a different kind of workforce. And folks, if you're just joining us right now, you're listening to Dale Soutas, financial advisor, founder of Soutas Financial, right here in California. And from the Retirement Research Institute, finding out that Americans are retiring a little bit later, maybe from the nature of our job, a little bit less physically demanding. Let's speak, though, to the financial aspect of it. I'm sure that people realize also that we're living a little bit longer, and so maybe they need a little bit more money. So our health, our longevity, they're saying this is almost a 3 to 4 year increase in our average life expectancy over the last 20 years alone. That means we need 3 to 4 more years of savings, don't we, Dale?
Well, basically. And so, some of the things like that report you're talking about, people might want to work a little longer so they can delay taking Social Security and have it increased, right?
Mm-hmm.
And less companies offer pensions. So it's on our shoulders to save in something like a 401k or a TSP, those different things.
Yeah.
403B. So maybe they're trying to save up more. But again, without a plan, when do you start Social Security? When's the best time? Without a plan, do I have enough already saved in my 401k and my other sources for retirement? And it's nice to see, based on what you want to do. And I get such a variety of people. Some, they've traveled maybe because of work. They've traveled all over the place and they've done that. And that's not what they want to do once they stop working. They like just puttering around home. They want to do the gardening and, maybe little day trips here and there. And, especially in the Central Valley, you're only, a couple hours or so from the coast, from the Bay Area, from LA to Sacramento to Yosemite, whatever. So, they don't have this high, gigantic amount of money they plan to spend, and they find out, oh, well, then my savings is more than enough, and it's kind of nice. Oh, yeah, you can retire now. So it's I don't like to see where people think they have to keep on working when they could do what they really want to do with what they've already saved and with what income sources they have.
Yeah. So let's pose that question out there to our listeners. Are you working longer because you feel that you have to? Are you working longer because you want to and you enjoy what you're doing, or maybe you've built your own business? Or are you working longer because you don't know? Maybe you do have the opportunity to be able to retire, air quotes, on time or when you want to. But you don't know what you don't know. Let us help you run the numbers. If you're serious about retirement planning, Dale and his team are serious about helping you. Give us a call. Call right now. Schedule your appointment. We have folks standing by who will set up a time for you to sit down with Dale and his team. And like I opened up with, it is much less painful than going to the dentist. Maybe we can make sure we'll do a financial X-ray of you as well, right? Is that what we'll do, kind of like with our teeth as well? We'll do a financial X-ray and make sure that your assets are going to go the distance for you. 833-856-1382 is the phone number to reach out to, folks. 833-856-1382. Call it right now or go to his website, Soutas.com, Soutas.com. More with Dale Soutas right after this.
Do you know how you'll generate income from your investments along with your Social Security in retirement? In our opinion, it's never too early to start the income planning process for your future. An income plan can help you work towards creating a steady stream of income to support you throughout your retirement years. Don't leave your financial future to chance. Take control today and start income planning for your retirement. Call the team at Soutas Financial so we can help you design a complimentary written income plan to help you live the retirement you've always wanted. Call 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
For those approaching and in retirement, the perfect economic storm has arrived. The highest inflation in over 4 decades, the end to the 13-year bull run of the stock market, looming increases in tax rates, and rising interest rates all spell trouble for your retirement savings. At Soutas Financial and Insurance Services, our mission is to provide you a clear income path that lasts all the way through your retirement years, no matter what storms are ahead. Call Dale Soutas and Soutas Financial right now for your own complimentary retirement storm strategy. 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
Stock market losses have you worried? Claim your free portfolio risk report and protection review from financial advisor Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial right now. Call 833-856-1382. If the recent market volatility has you worried about your retirement investments, you're not alone. Right now is the time to take action to protect your investments. Surely markets do not always rise, but if you're in your 50s, 60s, or 70s, you don't have the same time to make up for portfolio losses as you did in your 30s and 40s. Claim your portfolio risk review from Soutas Financial today. Call 833-856-1382 or go to Soutas.com. Your portfolio risk review will provide action steps of what you could do to protect your wealth from current market swings. Get your free portfolio risk review right now. Call Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial at 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382 or Soutas.com. That's SOUTAS.com.
To get your complimentary Retire Your Way review, call Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial at 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
Welcome back to Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial. The Center for Retirement Research stating that Americans are seemingly working a little bit longer, a few years longer. Is that because of savings? Is that because your Social Security will grow in amount the longer you wait? Is that because we do a different nature of job? Is that because we're realizing that we're all living longer and we need more? Lots of different factors go into it. But here's 3 different things we would like for you to think about. Do you have a tax strategy for working and living longer? Do you have an investment strategy for your retirement years? And do you have an estate plan or legacy plan? These are three things we want you to think about over the next 45 minutes or so with us. Let's go ahead and start with those investments right now. So 2025, of course, we've seen a lot of volatility, Dale. Ups, downs, sideways. Yeah. Do you have a Soutas philosophy on investing, especially when things get squirrely, when things get jumpy as they have been, or
Well, yeah. I mean, basically, if you're young, you can handle the ride. But as you get closer to retirement, it's better to start, shifting to things that are less volatile. You want to protect what you have because, how sad it is, and I've seen this happen, unfortunately, at times. People are, they come in, we're talking about retiring, and I had one couple many years ago. He was already retired. His wife wanted to retire within the next couple years. And then boom, things happened and the market dropped significantly. Well, I can't force people to move all their money into, off the market or reduce the risk. I can give them tips and all. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, because the market dropped so much, she had to delay, or they felt, and it was like another 8 or 10 years later that she finally retired. And we don't want that to happen to the ones we talk to. So we take a whole picture of where you're at and start looking at, well, what do you need when you want to retire? So our philosophy is more so protect what you need to provide lifetime income, especially. So if your income is solid, it'll keep going to your spouse, to age 100, keep up with inflation. You'll be able to, we call that the paycheck. If you'll be able to do the things you want to do, or do more of the fun things, that's your play check. And we build a care check into your plan without the need of long-term care insurance. If you know your income's going to last and cover everything, then the rest of your money, the volatility you can choose. If you like playing the market, fine. But make sure what you have is going to cover what you need, and it's going to last, basically.
Two to three almost different ideas in there. It's that, how do you manage the market volatility, and how do you manage the risk of running out of your life savings? It is literally the double-edged sword. You need to take some risk to make sure you've got growth so your money continues to work for itself. Even though you're retired and you're not adding to it and you don't have an employer adding to it, you've got to make sure that there's a version of growth, meaning some exposure, I would guess, to the markets or rates that will continue to grow. But you also want to make sure that you don't outlive it. So there's almost the risk of becoming too conservative. So how do you manage that?
So I've had a couple different ones. They have their 401ks. Well, it's actually TSPs through the government. And maybe they didn't have a ton of other funds available, and that's okay. And the funds that they have through their retirement plan are pretty well safe. I mean, they're low volatility. They're mostly in like government instruments. So they are earning something, but the key for them wasn't the growth. It was that money was available to grab, liquid, okay? There's some where, yes, there's accounts where you can lock in 5% guaranteed and have your money managed properly, where maybe it does fluctuate, but we want to manage the risk and not have a high risk. Again, it's hard to say, okay, we always do this, because we don't. We look at each one individually, what they want in retirement, whether you're retired already or heading to it. How do you develop the plan that's going to keep your money going, keep your income going, and last as long as you may last? Because people, again, are living longer.
Yeah. Well, if I do the math, I was trying to think, how could I set this up? If I know that I'm going to run out of money for myself, for my partner, and let's say, look, it gets me to 85, gets her to, let's say, 90, and I don't think that's long enough. Yep. Have I done the math wrong, or am I not using the right kind of tools, or have I not saved enough? Is there a way that I can stretch out what I have to get it beyond those numbers, or do I just have to work longer and save a little bit more? That's kind of where we opened our show today.
Well, first you got to get away from the abacus that you use, okay?
Come on. I use stones in the dirt, and I feel like I'm carrying over the proper numbers. Come on, Dale. No.
So, okay, you're a married couple. I'm going to put the retirement income plan out to her age 100 because, people are
But I
living
said my
longer.
money's only going to last for her until 90. So did I do it wrong, or how do you get it to 100?
Okay, well, depends on what are the tools you're using. So sometimes people think, okay, I've got this big lump of money, I've got $500,000 or $1 million saved up, and, I only have Social Security because I didn't work for a company that offered a pension. So I only have Social Security to draw from. And then what I'm going to do with my savings is I'm going to just pull a little bit as I need, because I should be able to pull like 4 or 5% from it without it running out. But like you're finding, it does run out. And the thing that many times people don't factor in is as your retirement savings for retirement is going up and down with the market, that sequence of returns, the ups and the downs, can wipe your money out if you're just wanting to take that steady income out. Now, why? What am I talking about? If your $1 million grows by 5% one year, well, no big deal. You took 5% out, you pretty much, it sounds like you stay even, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you did. But now the next year, the market drops 10%, but you're still pulling 10% out, or excuse me, you're still pulling 5% out. You have to sell more of whatever you're invested in to get that same income. So people don't realize that up and down sequence fails more than half the time in retirement. So there's better ways to secure your income. And then, what if you, out of that million, you use 150 or 200,000 to provide, guaranteed income for life, and now you have the other chunk of money to be, used in various ways, and you don't have to rely on it only going up to draw from for other, things, or when the what ifs come up, you need a new roof, new HVAC, or a new car, things like that. So the strategy, again, I love it when people come up, like, what was it, in May, we had our rocket event, and I had people come up, and because I had our table set up as Retire Your Way and all that, and they know me out there, what I do, but I had different ones come up. So what do you think? Is saving $1 million or $3 million enough for me to be retired? And I'm like,
Yeah.
So
Well, that's a good question, though.
It's a good question, but I don't know, because I don't know your spending habits. I don't know what you want to do when you retire. I mean, I know he wants to shoot up rockets, but okay. But it's like saying, how many pennies can you hold in your hand? Well, it depends on how big your hand is, right? I don't know. Until I get to know you and know what you want to do in retirement and what you need to do all that, I can't give you a definite answer. And it sounds vague, but I'm not going to shoot from the hip. Yeah, save $1 million and I'll make sure you can retire happily. Well, that's lying to you, because I don't know what, you might need $1.5 million. You might only need 500,000, or a couple 100,000. So, yeah.
But it's personalizing it and trying to figure out that number for everybody. And we want to let our listeners know that you can do that as well. It's a great question. It's a fantastic question.
Or they can look online and see all the ads that talk about save $1 million and we'll help you be retired.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing. You're being just a little bit sarcastic. I totally
me?
understand.
Sarcastic?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, and I feel the same way, because I mean, with you and I, seeing the industry differently, and your financial advisor, I look at that as well when I see those ads. Oh, if you've got $500,000, shouldn't you start your retirement planning? What they're basically doing is say, don't call us unless you got money. And as far as the way that you spread your message, I really appreciate it. You're willing to help everybody out there. You don't set a certain dollar amount. We would ask this: if you're serious about retirement planning, and if you'd really like to help, then we'd be glad to help you. That's it. Maybe there are things that Dale can do to improve your situation. Maybe you've already done okay. Maybe you just need
a couple I's dotted, a couple of T's crossed. But is it finances? Is it taxes? Have you saved enough? Is it your investment strategy? Is it estate planning? There's so many different conversations, and you can have yours started right now just by calling the phone number and setting up your appointment, folks. Call 833-856-1382. Call it right now. At least get that number in your phone. We'll help you figure out your calendar so you can sit down and get your own no-cost written financial plan with Dale Soutas, your financial advisor right here in California. 833-856-1382. Call it right now. More with Dale Soutas. Taxes, taxes, taxes. When we get back right after this.
How do you know if you're retirement ready? That's a question many people ask themselves as they approach their golden years. We believe the answer can be complex and depends on many factors, such as your savings, monthly expenses, and lifestyle goals. At Soutas Financial, we can help you determine if you're retirement ready. We'll work with you to assess your financial situation, identify any potential income gaps, and develop a customized plan that aligns with your goals. Don't leave your retirement to chance. Call us today to learn how we can help you work towards achieving financial security and peace of mind in retirement. Call Dale Soutas and the team at Soutas Financial for your complimentary retirement readiness review. Call 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
Is having $1 million enough to retire? For years, many have considered this to be the goal amount to have for retirement savings, $1 million. But that's the $1 million question. Is that enough for today's modern retiree? Are you sure you've saved enough for a 25 or 30-year retirement? Are you concerned about covering large expenses, including taxes and long-term care? If so, you're not alone. But there is a solution. With a comprehensive financial plan, you can take control of your finances to help you achieve your long-term goals. With Soutas Financial, let us help you work towards peace of mind by implementing a complete retirement strategy. Call Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial Planning right away to receive your complimentary written financial plan. 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382. Or you can write Dale at dale@soutas.com.
To get your complimentary Retire Your Way review, call Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial at 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
This is Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas, financial advisor right here in California. And you too can find out if you're able to retire your way right now. Call the phone number, set up your own no-cost appointment, no obligation. Leave your credit cards at home, leave your purse at home, bring your spouse. Let's have you both sit down. And if you are solo in retirement, it is just as important, if not even maybe more important, for you to have a retirement plan. 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382. Give us a buzz. We were discussing at the opening of the show how it seems like Americans, according to the Center for Retirement Research, are working longer. And could be a whole bunch of different reasons, different nature of jobs we do, maybe realizing we need to save more. The world has gotten expensive. But there is a big area where you, if you do planning, if you do a little bit of hard work and maybe think a little contrary to what you might be thinking right now about this subject, you can hopefully save more of your own money. You can become more efficient with what you have already saved, and it's tax strategies. Have you helped anybody with tax strategies recently, Dale?
Yes, it's interesting because, like I was telling you, I've had a few people ask questions regarding using like a Roth IRA versus the traditional, or regularly I'm recommending people who are still working and young, does your company offer a Roth 401k, a Roth TSP, a Roth 403b, put in after-tax money? Why is it so important? How can I put it? We were told to lower our income taxes today, throw as much as we can into these retirement, plans, 401ks and such, and or IRAs, and lower our taxes today. It's exciting. Sometimes when we're doing our tax preparation with our CPA or accountant or ourselves with some kind of tax program, we say, oh, well, what if I throw $7,000 or $8,000 for me and $7,000 or $8,000 for my spouse into an IRA? Or what if I contribute more into my 401k? Look at the savings. I save an extra $1,000, $2,000 in taxes. And that's exciting. But what people don't realize is that what you put off in taxes on that income you put into a retirement account, you're deferring the taxes on that to a later time. Plus, it's going to grow, hopefully. And where will tax rates be down the road? You're not only deferring the taxes to a later time, but to a later tax calculation, which could likely be higher and very much will be higher if you're married and one of you passes away. Now all that money has to come out under the high single tax rates instead of the married tax. So it's, I refer to it as creating a tax bomb. But so there's times I'm coaching people, like recently we had a wonderful couple we're working with, and so I was encouraging him to convert part of his traditional IRA to his Roth IRA and move a chunk of money from it to the Roth, and it will be taxable. And we're strategizing it to be under a certain tax bracket for now. We can stage that over time. Hopefully get all of his IRA tax deferred money converted to Roth. But the question came up: if I convert that, isn't there a 5-year rule? You've heard of that, right?
Yes. So, and to familiarize our folks out there, so before you can take out, I think, the growth, you have to have a Roth account open for 5 years. Now, if you pay your taxes, though, and let's say emergency-wise, you need to access that money. If you're over the 59.5, do you have to wait 5 years on that?
Yeah. So basically, on he's already past 59.5. He had a Roth IRA set up for 5 years or more, which meant anything he converted is immediately, there's no limit on the amount he rolls. Let's say a person rolls over 100,000 from their IRA to their Roth IRA. The 100,000 is always available anytime because you've already paid taxes.
He's over 59.5 because he's already paid taxes on it, and now he's just leaving it in there to grow. But if he needs it, he can go to it. Okay, great.
Yeah, but now because he has this existing Roth IRA for 5 years or more, that means even the growth is not limited for 5 years. He can play with all of that money anytime tax-free. Now, what about the younger ones who've asked, well, what if I start putting money into a Roth? If you're under 50, you could put 7,000 into your Roth. If you have a company plan and they allow you to they have a Roth 401k or such, you could put, if you're under 50, 23,500 of your income into that. Now, is there a 5-year rule? Well, yes and no. If you're under 50, there's a rule until you hit 59.5 for you to be able to touch the gains. But the principal part, if you put 7,000 in or 23.5 into the company sponsored Roth, you can touch that anytime. So what I try to emphasize, especially with younger people, the benefit of using the Roth not only for future tax savings is that while you're young and you're saving into that Roth, that money, if a big what if comes about, you can still take that out because you've already paid taxes on it. And so there won't be any penalty with IRS, like a 10% penalty you would have on a regular retirement account or IRA. And it's not taxable because you've already paid tax on it. You just can't play with the earnings. So what? Whoop-de-doo. You basically have your own savings plan that the interest grows tax-free, technically, tax-deferred, but reality is tax-free down the road to use.
How about somebody listening right now? I call it got work, just like got milk. Or if you're still working, 50s, even 60s, is it worth it to ask and find out from HR, your 401k plan sponsor, or 403b or TSP, if there is a Roth 401k version? Would you say if you're still working to go ahead? Because what you were talking about is converting. That's fantastic.
Yes, definitely. Definitely ask. And here's why. I recently had somebody, they got a very sizable amount in their 401k. I mean, we're talking, 7 figures, right? Is that the right number?
Yeah. And I guess if you've worked for someplace for a long time and they've been there, that's very,
they've
very
got
possible.
A lot. And sometimes I see this, whether they have 200,000, 500, 2, 3 million in their 401ks, and they have very little, outside of that, like in the bank or other retirement investments. So when they get close to retirement and they don't have a lot of liquidity, then if they need money, extra money, or they need to fix something on the house or buy a new car, they're taking big chunks from that tax deferred. They're paying taxes. It makes it harder to play with your retirement money if you tie it all up in tax deferred methods like we're told to do for the most part. So no, there's a balance. So sometimes I have ones, they've got already a sizable amount saved up in their tax deferred 401ks or whatever. And they're in their 50s or early 60s. And I say, stop putting it there. If you have a Roth, start maxing that out. That money's going to be available to use without Uncle Sam being your partner in it when you stop working. You'll be able to play with that more so.
Nice.
And yeah, there's a balance.
When we as a country started to save into 401ks, it was the very early 1980s, and tax rates were much, much higher. The top tax bracket back then was 70%. There were many more brackets, but over half of them were 70, 60 to 50% of taxes. So people were clamoring for some way to save tax deferred or to lower their taxes. This worked great 40, 45 years ago. But Dale, we're in, I double-checked and wanted to look at my math, third lowest tax brackets in U.S. history right now. So why not pay some of those taxes now, especially on that retirement savings? Again, let's list the benefits. Once it's been in there, go ahead.
Taxes are on sale right now with the tax brackets that we have now. So it's not only...
The sale ain't going to last forever, I don't think.
No. And so do what you can. And so the difference between us and your tax person or whoever that is, yourself or the CPA, they do tax preparation. We do tax planning. They show you how much tax you pay now and maybe, do this, that. You could save a little bit of tax today. We do tax planning to reduce your future taxes in and throughout retirement.
Let us help you with your own tax review. Let me ask you this. I know a lot of folks out there, you have a person, you have somebody who helps you. They work at one of the big box places. They've got a huge office on one of the corners at your malls. You know who they are. But if your investment, quote unquote, representative hasn't asked to see your tax returns and doesn't help you with that every single year, you're only getting half of the picture, folks. Taxes are an important part of being able to save and be able to spend more in your retirement. Believe us when we say so. And if you don't know that right now, or if this is one of the first times you're hearing it, give us a call. Let us do your retirement tax review. No cost to you. How do you keep more of your hard-earned money in retirement? Tax strategies are one of the ways that you might be able to do so. 833-856-1382. Call the phone number. Call it right now. Let's do your tax review. Free with Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial, your financial advisor. 833-856-1382. More with Dale Soutas right after this.
Are you worried about taxes eating into your retirement savings? By engaging in savvy tax planning, you might be able to create greater tax efficiency in your retirement plan. At Soutas Financial, our team of retirement planning specialists can help you explore tax-deferred and tax-free investment options, as well as strategies to help potentially minimize your tax burden in retirement. Don't let taxes derail your retirement plans. Let us help you create a tax-efficient financial plan and work towards maximizing your savings and minimizing your taxes. Call Dale Soutas of Retire Your Way and the team at Soutas Financial today to learn more about our tax planning solutions. Call 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
Social Security is easy, right? The question is, should I take it sooner or later? Well, there are dozens and dozens of ways to take Social Security if you're single, and even more if you're married. This one-time decision can also affect how much you pay in taxes, how much you receive in lifetime payouts for you and possibly your spouse. You could increase your nest egg by tens of thousands of dollars just by being informed. Unfortunately, the Social Security office is not allowed to give you comprehensive financial planning advice. You've paid into Social Security for decades. Don't you want to make sure you optimize your retirement income? Sure, there are tons of online calculators that will tell you how much you will receive from Social Security. Now, you need to build that into a retirement income plan with all of your assets. Get your own tailored, no-cost Social Security income strategy with the team at Retire Your Way and Soutas Financial. 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382. Or you can write Dale Soutas at dale@soutas.com. SOUTAS.com.
For your own complimentary Retire Your Way review, call Dale Soutas of Retire Your Way and Soutas Financial at 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
This is Retire Your Way with financial advisor Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial. As Americans, we seem to be working a little bit longer. Maybe we're trying to save a little bit more for retirement. Maybe we realize we're living longer. Maybe we realize that dollar just isn't stretching quite as far as inflation continues to stay pretty high. We've talked about everything from the investment strategy to taxes and kind of a little bit of the mentality on this. But Dale, I feel like we got to get to people sooner. You know, we got to get to them younger. Mm-hmm. And I really appreciate your platform of helping people be and stay retired and all the things you've done for decades. But can we reach some of the younger? Do we need the Dale TikTok page? Are you gonna start doing dance and financial moves so we can attract a younger audience?
Oh yeah, you see my TikTok page all the time. Mm-hmm. I don't even know what I don't even use whatever. No,
I know.
So no, what I talk to, like I have a lot of people who are retired or getting close to retirement, and you know, I show them here's things to do for you, but we need to teach our kids, our grandkids, how to do things better for their future, particularly how to keep Uncle Sam out of their future retirement money.
Can we keep them totally out of our future? That would be fantastic.
That would be great. But you can keep a majority, you know, of your retirement. In fact, there's ways to keep 100% of your retirement savings out of Uncle Sam's, you know, being your partner or, you know, being involved in that part of your retirement. So, but it's thinking smarter, not having to work as hard. So I have a couple I've been working with now for past month or two, and, you know, she's in the healthcare industry. He's recently started his own business. It's doing well. It's going well. And so the coaching on here's how you start saving. And I gave him homework after the first visit. Does your company, you know, where she works, offer a Roth type, like 401k, 403b, or whatever they offer, right? And for him, you know, there's other things to consider as his business grows, which even the CPA's fortunately coaching him on the same, which is how to structure it. Will it be an LLC? Will it be an S Corp? You know, things that can basically help him save taxes on his revenue that he generates, as well as better ways of saving for himself down the road. But sure enough, her company does offer a Roth version. Sometimes they don't offer the match, okay, like you can with the traditional.
Nice.
But if you put, you know, 5% of your income over here into this 401k, we'll match 5% or whatever. Well, that's nice. That's free money.
Yeah.
You want to get the free money. But if they offer at the same time a Roth 401k, let's say, then will they allow you, after this year, you put your 5% into the traditional, you get the 5% free money. Next year, will they allow you to roll that over into or convert it over to your Roth 401k? That's kind of a backdoor Roth, as they call it. So, yeah, you're paid tax on that, but now in the future, that's going to be tax-free again to use, which is smarter for their future. Because, again, who knows what taxes are going to be 20 years from now.
Great. I'm so glad to hear a couple like this starting out their planning. I'm so glad to hear that she had a Roth 401k or 403b, as you were saying. She's in healthcare. I'm not sure what her plan is, but glad to know that there's a Roth version to let our listeners know. So one of the bigger, I guess, rubs or misconceptions is that employers didn't used to put in a match into a Roth 401k because they didn't get, as the corporation, a tax break. Those tax laws have changed, so it is now possible for them to get that tax break. But because of the plan, because of how it is put together, they still might not be doing it, or they might not have the function of being able to do it yet. So as Dale was saying, okay, fine, let's play the match game. Put in whatever you need to into your retirement to get the maximum amount of match from your employer. Then you can also put money possibly over into your Roth version of the 401k. Mm-hmm. You can't put double the amount, but basically whatever you're allowed to put into your 401ks, you can split that. You can use that in total to get up to that entire threshold.
Yeah.
Of, as you were saying, in the 20,000s and up to 30,000 plus if you're over the age of 50 in catch-ups. So get that match, but I would call the plan administrator and find out, and I'd almost find out twice. Because sometimes the younger the person is that might be on the phone, not that it has to do with youth, it's the inexperience. They might say, oh yeah, we don't match into this. Find out for sure.
Yeah, double check.
Double check. Yes, double check the math on this.
A lot of times your HR department should know,
Mm-hmm.
but the custodian who holds your money should also know what the plan says as to these different options. So yeah, if let's say you're making $100,000 a year and your company offers a 5%, you put 5% of your income in, $5,000, they'll put $5,000 on top of that into your retirement account. Well, that extra $5,000 is free money, right? And what's better than free money? One word, more, right? More free money. So, but think about it too. The benefit of at least doing the match is now you have $10,000 in your retirement account. If the stock market drops in half, you lost the free money. You didn't lose your earned money in that account, right? Mm-hmm. But again, what if your company does allow you to convert that $10,000 on the second year to the Roth 401k? Yeah, you're going to pay. You're going to show an extra $10,000 next year. That's okay. Pay the tax. Tax rates are low, and let that mushroom into tax-free money for your future. So there's some neat strategies that way. But now for somebody self-employed, and I had a couple of them just recently, this couple and then another couple, and this first couple, his business is still growing, and his CPA wisely has said, when you get to a point where your revenue is high enough, then we'll look at different structures for your business. The other one, I think with the income I was told that he has is definitely there, where he could set up like an S Corp, which basically means he makes $100,000. He can show that he takes a certain wage to satisfy Uncle Sam, but he doesn't necessarily pay Social Security tax on that whole enchilada. For people who are employed, well, that's only 8%. No, but if you're self-employed, that's over 16% because paying his half and what his employer would have been paying, but he's the employer. So there's some tax strategies while you're building.
Oh, yeah.
So your kids, your grandkids, you love them to death. Let's educate them. It doesn't cost a dime to send them in and have them talk to me. There's tools. There's, the Power of Zero movie is excellent to share with your kids and grandkids. And by the way, the trailers to both the Baby Boomer Dilemma and The Power of Zero, the trailers to those two movies are now on our website. It's actually working finally. It's been fun getting them to work. But you go to our website and see the 2-3 minute trailers. And if you think, oh, that would be helpful for my kids or myself, just let us know. We'll give you access to those free of charge. Instead of spending $30 for each as they would want you to pay, we will help you know how to get those for free and be able to own the movies, watch them over and over if you want.
And the Power of Zero, if I can clarify, we're talking about zero as far as taxes, trying to get down to as low of a number in taxes in retirement as possible.
Right. Now, the Baby Boomer movie is more entertaining and only about 85 minutes. The Power of Zero movie, I think it's closer to 2 hours. It's not as exciting, the first half.
Way to sell it, Dale. Way to sell it.
But here's the exciting part of it. The worthwhile part of it is this. The first half is talking about why we need to save differently than our parents and grandparents. In other words, why to save using tax-free type instruments. And it's not just Roth. Properly structured life insurance can be a means to that same end of having tax-free retirement income out from those, surprisingly to many. But the first half is why we need to do it. And then the second half of that Power of Zero movie is how to do it. What are the strategies? And there's a variety of ways to do it. And so it's very helpful. I've shared that. I used to share a book that was tax-free retirement income, but this movie, I think, makes it a whole lot easier to understand the value of keeping Uncle Sam out of your retirement.
If you'd like to see these two retirement planning tools, these two movies that have been put together, you can give us a call or you can go to the website and we will send you more information. You can have a family movie event at home and talk about financial planning together. Then you can come into Dale's office with the entire group, bring everybody, and we'll help you put together not only a plan for yourself, but that generational plan for your financial security in retirement and your family's financial security in the future. Call 833-856-1382. Call the phone number. Call it right now. We're wrapping up the program, but people will still be standing by today to schedule that appointment for you. 833-856-1382. Or go to the website, take a look at those two trailers and see which one is of interest to you. We'll get you a link so you can watch them at home. Soutas.com, Soutas.com, Soutas.com. For Dale Soutas, I'm Spike Spangle. Thank you for listening. We'll both be back again next week.
As a valued radio listener of Retire Your Way, Dale and his entire team of retirement professionals invite you to schedule your very own complimentary retirement plan review session. 833-856-1382 is the number for you to call. If you don't have a retirement strategy mapped out that includes low-fee investment elections, tax minimization strategies, decumulation plans that will last as long as you need them to, then call for your very own retirement review session, complimentary for our valued radio listeners. Are you able to lower your taxes in retirement? Are you unclear about your Social Security, Medicare, investment fees and risk, or how to produce guaranteed lifetime income so your lifestyle and goals don't have to be changed with the ups and downs of the market or taxes? Call Dale Soutas with Soutas Financial and be confident you can retire your way. Schedule your own comprehensive and complimentary retirement review session. Don't just live in retirement, thrive. Call 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
Investment advisory services are offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The content provided is intended for informational and educational purposes only. The views, statements, and opinions expressed herein are those of the individual speakers and are not necessarily those of Foundations and its affiliates. The information contained herein does not constitute an offer to sell any securities or represent an express or implied opinion or endorsement of any specific investment opportunity, offering, or issuer. Any discussion of performance or returns is not indicative of future results. Any discussions of specific strategies are for informational purposes only and have been provided to help determine whether they may be appropriate for your specific situation. If applicable, the primary goal in converting retirement assets into a Roth IRA is to reduce the future tax liability on the distributions you take in retirement or on the distributions of your beneficiaries. Each individual investor's situation is different, and any ideas provided may not be appropriate for your particular circumstances. Comments regarding a particular client's experience may or may not be the same as another client's experience, and is not an indication that any client or prospective client will experience the same or a higher level of future success or performance. Foundations only transacts business in states where it is properly registered or is excluded or exempted from registration requirements. Registration as an investment advisor is not an endorsement of the firm by securities regulators and does not mean the advisor has achieved a specific level of skill or ability. Nothing herein constitutes a recommendation that any security, portfolio of securities, or investment strategy is suitable for any specific person. No legal or tax advice is provided. Please review your retirement, tax, and legacy planning strategies with a legal or tax professional before transacting or implementing any strategy discussed herein. Any comments regarding safe and secure investments and guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products. They do not refer in any way to investment advisory products. Rates and guarantees provided by insurance products and annuities are subject to the financial strength of the issuing company, not guaranteed by any bank or the FDIC. This is not endorsed or affiliated with the Social Security Administration, any federal Medicare program, nor any U.S. government agency. If applicable, we do not offer every plan in your area, and contacting us at the phone numbers provided herein will direct you to a licensed insurance agent. Any information we provide is limited to those plans we do offer in your area. Please contact Medicare.gov or 1-800-MEDICARE to get information on all of your options. All rights reserved.